Hey everyone, welcome to the English podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learner Podcast. My name is Leo, and I am really happy that you are here with us today because we are going to talk about a very interesting and common topic that can help you improve your English speaking skills in a natural and enjoyable way.
Hi guys, my name is Alena, and I am also very excited for today's episode because the topic is something that everyone can talk about easily, and that is hobbies. And I think when we talk about hobbies, we not only practice English, but also learn more about each other's personalities, interests, and daily life.
Yes, that is absolutely right. And before we start our conversation, I want to say that if you really want to improve your English speaking skills, then you should listen to English every day and try to speak as much as possible, even if you make mistakes, because practice is the most important part of learning.
And also, if you enjoy listening to our conversation and you feel that it is helping you in any way, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel because it motivates us to create more useful content for you.
So, Elena, let's begin our discussion. And I want to ask you a simple but very important question, which is, what are your hobbies? And how do you usually spend your free time when you are not working or studying?
That is a really nice question, Leo, and I think hobbies are very important in everyone's life because they help us relax and feel happy. So when I have free time, I usually like to read books, watch movies, and sometimes listen to music because these activities make me feel calm and help me forget about stress and daily problems.
That sounds very interesting, and I think many people can relate to that because reading books and watching movies are very common hobbies. But I want to ask you something more specific, which is what kind of books do you enjoy reading, and why do you like them so much?
I usually enjoy reading novels and self-improvement books because novels allow me to imagine different stories and characters, which makes reading very enjoyable. And self-improvement books help me learn new ideas and improve my thinking. So I feel that reading is not only fun, but also very useful for personal growth.
That is a very thoughtful answer, and I completely agree with you, because reading can really change the way we think and understand the world. And in my case, when I have free time, I like to watch movies, play some mobile games, and sometimes go for a walk, because these activities help me relax after a long day.
That is nice, Leo, and I think going for a walk is a very healthy habit because it not only relaxes your mind, but also keeps your body active. So, do you usually go alone or with your friends when you go for a walk?
Most of the time I go alone because I like to think about different things and enjoy some quiet time. But sometimes I go with my friends and we talk about different topics like life, work, and future plans, which makes the walk more interesting and enjoyable.
That sounds really good because spending time alone is important for self-reflection, and spending time with friends is important for social connection. So, both are necessary in our life. And I think hobbies can also be a great way to connect with other people who have similar interests.
Yes, that is absolutely true. And I think one of the biggest advantages of having hobbies is that they give us something to talk about in conversations, especially when we meet new people and we want to continue the conversation without feeling awkward.
Exactly. And many English learners face the problem that after basic introduction, they do not know what to say next. So, talking about hobbies is one of the easiest and most natural ways to continue the conversation because everyone has at least one hobby that they can talk about.
That is a very important point, and I would like to give an example of how someone can extend a conversation using hobbies. So, if someone asks you, "What do you like to do in your free time?" Instead of giving a short answer, you can say something like, "I really enjoy watching movies, especially comedy and action movies, because they help me relax and forget about my daily stress."
Yes, and after that, you can also ask a question to the other person, like what kind of movies do you like, or do you watch movies regularly? And in this way, the conversation will continue naturally, without any difficulty.
That is a very useful technique, and I think asking questions is one of the best ways to keep a conversation going because it shows that you are interested in the other person and you want to know more about them.
I agree with you, and I also think that when we talk about our hobbies, we should try to explain why we like them instead of just naming them, because it makes our conversation more interesting and meaningful.
That is a great suggestion, and let me try to give a detailed example. So instead of saying, I like music, I can say, I really enjoy listening to music in my free time because it helps me relax and improves my mood, especially when I feel tired or stressed after a long day.
That is a perfect example, Leo, and I think our listeners should try to use long sentences like this because it will help them improve their fluency and confidence in speaking English.
Yes, and at the beginning, it may feel difficult to speak long sentences, but with regular practice, it will become easier, and you will start speaking more naturally without thinking too much.
That is true, and I also want to add that people should not be afraid of making mistakes while speaking English because mistakes are a normal part of learning and they help us improve over time.
Absolutely. And I think one more important thing is that people should try different hobbies in their life because it helps them discover new interests and keeps life exciting and interesting.
That is a very good point, Leo. And I think trying new hobbies also helps us meet new people and learn new skills, which is very useful for personal and professional growth.
Yes, and for example, if someone starts learning painting or dancing as a hobby, then they not only enjoy their time, but also develop a new skill, which can be very beneficial in the future.
That is correct. And I think hobbies also play an important role in reducing stress because when we do something we love, we forget about our worries and feel more relaxed and happy.
I completely agree with you. And in today's busy life, it is very important to have some time for ourselves and do activities that make us feel good and refreshed.
Yes, and I would like to ask you one more question, Leo, which is if you had more free time in your life, then what new hobby would you like to start and why?
That is an interesting question. And I think if I had more free time, I would like to learn playing a musical instrument like the guitar because I have always found it very interesting and I think it's a great way to express emotions and creativity.
That sounds amazing. And I think learning a musical instrument is a very rewarding hobby because it requires patience and practice, but at the same time, it gives a lot of satisfaction when you improve.
Yes, and what about you, Elena? If you had more free time, what would you like to learn or try as a new hobby?
I think I would like to learn painting because I find it very relaxing and creative, and I believe that painting can help me express my thoughts and feelings in a different way.
That is a wonderful choice, and I think creative hobbies like painting, writing, and music are very helpful in improving our mental well-being.
Yes, and I would like to say to our listeners that you should always try to find some time for your hobbies, no matter how busy you are, because it is important for your happiness and overall well being.
That is a very important message, and I hope our listeners will start talking about their hobbies in English and practice speaking in long sentences so that they can improve faster.
And remember that learning English is a journey and not a race. So take your time, practice regularly, and enjoy the process.
So with that, we come to the end of today's conversation, and we hope that you learned something useful from this discussion about hobbies.
If you enjoyed this podcast, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such conversations.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep improving your English every day.
We will see you in the next episode with another interesting topic.
Till then, take care and keep smiling.
Bye, everyone.